Most people see cleaning as a battle with clutter, but in Japan, it's a system. 15 tiny habits that quietly shape calm from chaos. Tokyo's population once doubled in a decade, forcing microscopic routines that now save hours and even lower stress hormones. What happens when you let these principles reshape your life, one habit at a time? Tokyo's population swelled from 3.5 million in 1940 to nearly 7 million by 1950. Families squeezed into tiny apartments where every square meter counted. In these close quarters, clutter wasn't just unsightly, it blocked movement, strained relationships, and turned daily life into an obstacle course. Japanese homes responded not with stricter discipline, but with smarter design. The answer was a system, not a struggle. This approach crystallized into the 5S method. Seri, sort, seiton, set in order, seiso, shine, seiketsu, standardize, and shitsuke, sustain. Each S is a quiet rule for living, born out of necessity. Seri asks you to clear away what you don't need. Seiton means everything has a logical home, so nothing is left to wander. Seiso urges a little cleaning every day, not just when chaos strikes. Seiketsu standardizes routines so the right action becomes the easy one. Shitsuke, the final S, is about making these habits stick without force. In post-war Tokyo, there was no room for, "I'll get to it later." The futon had to be folded each morning so the living room could become a dining area, then a space for work or rest. A single stray bag could block the only path between rooms. The system wasn't about perfection, it was about survival and flow. Maya, standing in her own cramped entryway, realized her frustration wasn't laziness or lack of willpower. It was a missing design, a gap in design that left her fighting the same battles every day. The Japanese 5S method didn't demand more effort. It offered a blueprint for peace, one small action at a time. Kaizen, the Japanese philosophy of continuous improvement, thrives on the smallest of changes. In practice, this means attaching a cleaning habit to something you already do, like wiping the sink after brushing your teeth or resetting a table before you stand up. These micro habits, each taking less than 30 seconds, begin to stack up. Over a week, seconds become minutes. Over a month, they quietly reclaim hours that would have gone to weekend marathons of scrubbing and sorting. Researchers studying habit formation often point to the power of these tiny wins. In one study, adults who paired short, automatic cleaning actions with daily routines found their overall cleaning time drop significantly, sometimes by nearly half. The reason is simple. When dirt and clutter never get a chance to settle, deep cleaning becomes almost unnecessary. Wiping a damp counter right after making coffee prevents stains and sticky buildup. Lifting bottles onto a tray in the bathroom keeps mold from taking hold. Even a quick dry swipe after a shower makes a measurable difference. Homes that adopted this practice saw visible mold reduced by more than 2/3 within a few weeks. The effect isn't just physical. Each time Maya completed a micro task, her brain rewarded her with a small pulse of satisfaction. Behavioral scientists link these moments to dopamine, the same chemical that reinforces good habits. By the end of her first week, Maya noticed she felt lighter. The usual dread of cleaning had faded, replaced by a quiet sense of control. Instead of falling behind, she was always just a step ahead. The logic of Kaizen made it feel effortless. Small actions, tied to daily cues, quietly transformed her space and her mood without fanfare or struggle. A simple drain mesh, bought for just 2 yen, sits quietly at the bottom of Maya's kitchen sink. It isn't flashy, but it captures nearly all scraps, up to 99%, before they slip down the pipes. In the bathroom, a soft cloth hangs within easy reach, ready for a quick swipe after each use. And at the entryway, a shoe tray waits to catch dirt from outside so it never travels beyond the threshold. Each of these tools is more than an accessory. It's a decision made once that prevents countless small messes from ever appearing. Maya fits the mesh into place, noticing how the usual anxiety about clogged drains seems to lift. There's no more fishing out soggy leftovers or worrying about smells. The cloth, always visible, turns wiping the counter into a reflex. The time it takes to clean up drops by almost a third. Wiping is 30% faster when nothing sticks or dries out. The tray at the door catches grit and water from shoes, so floors stay cleaner without extra effort. These tools don't nag or remind. They simply stand guard, reducing the number of decisions Maya has to make each day. Instead of wrestling with motivation or memory, her home is shaped to make the right choice. Automatic. The drain stays clear, the counters shine, and the entryway remains welcoming. With each small device, the home begins to do some of the thinking for her, quietly freeing up energy and attention for everything else. A tidy room does more than please the eye. It calms the mind in ways that science can measure. At UCLA, researchers followed families through their daily routines, tracking not just chores but hormones. Women who described their homes as cluttered or full of unfinished projects showed higher daily cortisol levels, evidence of low-grade, chronic stress that lingers beneath the surface. The difference wasn't small, it was enough to reshape the body's entire rhythm of alertness and rest. The brain, too, feels the weight of disorder. A Princeton study found that visual clutter forces the mind to work harder, as every stray object competes for attention. In controlled experiments, the efficiency of the brain's primary visual cortex dropped by a meaningful margin, sometimes by tens of percent, when surrounded by clutter, even when the task stayed the same. The mind is constantly filtering, sorting, and suppressing distractions, leaving less energy for everything else. Maya noticed the change most at night. With surfaces cleared and objects in their place, her bedroom felt quieter. Sleep came more easily. Studies have shown that adults who sleep in organized rooms fall asleep faster and wake less often. The routine of resetting her space before bed, a habit borrowed from Japanese cleaning rituals, became a gentle cue for her body to wind down. Calm wasn't just a feeling, it was a shift in her biology, a quieting of the background noise that once followed her into every room. In this new silence, rest felt natural, not hard-won. Every December, Japan pauses for Osoji, the Great Sweep. In homes, schools, and offices, brooms and cloths come out for a deep, deliberate cleaning. This isn't just about dust, it's a tradition with roots in the Edo period, when families perform susu harai, or soot sweeping, to clear away the year's residue. The act carries spiritual weight. In Shinto belief, cleaning removes kegare, impurity, and prepares the space to welcome Toshigami, the New Year deity. At schools, even young children join in, scrubbing floors and wiping desks together. It's a lesson in respect and renewal. Care for the place that cares for you. Inspired by this, Maya plans her own Osoji, not as a chore, but as a quiet ritual, a way to leave behind the old year's burdens and invite a fresh start. Each sweep promises more than a clean floor, it promises a clean slate. In Kamakatsu, a small town in Tokushima Prefecture, every household sorts its waste into 45 separate categories, everything from bottle caps to old clothes. The process is exacting, but it makes waste visible in a way that changes habits. Kamakatsu now recycles or reuses over 80% of its waste, a rate unmatched in most of Japan. Residents say the act of sorting makes them rethink what they buy and discard, nudging daily choices toward less packaging and simpler materials. The same principle shapes how Japanese homes are designed for flow. Sliding doors and built-in storage reclaim space that would otherwise be lost to swinging doors or cluttered corners. In some layouts, designers report tens of % more usable floor area, enough to make a hallway feel open and airy, even in a small apartment. Maya's own entryway, once crowded and frustrating, now feels spacious and calm, with furniture on raised legs and nothing blocking the path. The system itself becomes a quiet source of relief, not just for the eyes but for the mind. Across cultures, research shows that small, intentional habits can measurably lower stress and sharpen focus. In an age of constant distraction, how we care for our spaces shapes our clarity and calm. Sometimes peace isn't found, it's quietly created, one mindful moment at a time. Share your thoughts below.